We run and hide, run and hide. So today we're going to read a couple books about the Underground Railroad. We read a book recently about Henry Box Brown, who mailed himself to freedom. But today we're going to read a picture book of Harriet Tubman, who was one of the founders of the Underground Railroad, and Under the Quilt of Night, which is a fictional story about a family escaping on the Underground Railroad. So, if you haven't heard of the Underground Railroad, it was not a real railroad. It was like a trail of safe houses leading slaves from the southern United States to Canada to freedom. So, yeah, it's an interesting topic for kids, and here we're going to read this one. Okay, so this one's called A Picture Book of Harriet Tubman by David Adler and illustrated by Samuel Bird. I'll show you their pictures. Nope, they don't have pictures. Are they in the back? Nope, 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 nope. Okay. And we got this from the Seattle Public Library. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So this book talks about Harriet Tubman and shows pictures from her life. And I'm not going to read the whole thing on the camera, but I'm just going to show you. It's got a lot of information and tells you about, kind of the start.
And don't forget, show every picture so you can just pause the video and read it for yourself.
Yeah, so you can read it for yourself. This is when she got caught stealing sugar and whipped by her mistress, which was awful.
And by the way, look at the first thing. Okay. Now switch to that.
Okay. You want me to just read it? I'll just read it. How's that?
No. I meant I just go to.
How about I just read it?
There's too many pages.
I know. That's what I thought.
That's what I meant. Which is just like.
Okay. So like, this is when Harriet got married to John Tubman, and they wanted to run away. Well, she wanted to run away, but he didn't.
What ninja? And you can describe this from the Public Library if you don't see everything.
So she was one of the first people to use the Underground Railroad, and she hid during the day and traveled at night until she reached Pennsylvania. There was a law in that state against owning slaves, so it was a safer state to be in. She was a free woman. She felt like a new person. She said later, "The sun came like gold through the trees and over the fields, and I felt like I was in heaven." During the years between 1850 and 1860, Harriet worked as a cook, dishwasher, and cleaning woman. She used much of the money she earned to make 19 trips south to lead about 300 slaves to freedom. Many of them were her own relatives. At times, Harriet disguised herself as a weak old woman or as a man. She used songs as a secret code. When the runaways were hiding and it was safe to come out, she sang a joyful song, "Hail, oh hail, ye happy spirits." The runaway slaves always recognized Harriet's deep, husky voice. So she was one of the conductors. Look at this one. Once slaves began their journey north with Harriet, she wouldn't let them turn back. When slaves were too scared to go on, Harriet pointed a gun at their heads and said, "You'll go on or you'll die." Well, that'll do it, huh? If you had to escape at gunpoint. Years later, Harriet said proudly, "I never ran my train off the track. I never lost a passenger." Harriet was called Moses because she let her people out of slavery. There was a huge reward waiting for anyone who caught her, but no one ever did. Haha, take that. In 1858, Harriet met John Brown, a leader in the movement to end slavery. He called her one of the best and bravest people in America. He called her General Tubman. In November 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president,
You have to be done with
and there was a civil war, and Harriet Tubman worked as a nurse and a spy for the Northern Army. Yep.
A few more pages, and then you're done at the end.
Yeah.
But at the end of this book, we're doing a different one.
All right, perfect. In December 1865, yep, just a second. Soon after the Civil War ended, an amendment to the U.S. Constitution was passed. Slavery was no longer allowed in the United States. So after the war, Harriet Tubman returned to her home in Auburn, New York. John Tubman had died. And then so she remarried Nelson Davis.
Who's John Tubman?
That was her husband.
Why did he die?
I don't know. She doesn't say. Harriet Tubman helped many former slaves who came to her in Auburn. She supported the suffragist movement, the fight for the right of women to vote in the United States. Did you know that women weren't allowed to vote?
For what?
For a long time, women weren't allowed to vote.
For what?
For anything, like president, congresspeople. Harriet helped establish a home in Auburn for sick, poor, and homeless black people. When she moved into that home in 1911, she was old and weak. I can hear them bells are ringing. I can hear the angels singing, she said. Soon after that, she died. She was more than 90 years
Can we
old.
bring down the other boxes?
So she was a conductor on the railway to freedom, a Moses to her people. What do you think? Do you recommend this book?
I don't give recommendations.
You don't give recommendations. Well, I do. I think it's very
can we do a
informative.
different book?
Yeah, I was going to do this one.
Let's do a different book.
Okay, show them this one. This one's called Under the Quilt of Night. It's by Deborah Hopkinson and James F. Ransom.
Now can we
That's
do a
pretty.
book? A different book?
Yeah, so this is a fictional story about the Underground Railroad, but it looks pretty cool.
Which I
Let's see.
read this.
All right. Under the Quilt of Night. This
I don't wanna
book is
read
an
it.
Ann Schwartz book. Athenian Books for Young Readers.
I
Well,
don't read it.
we're going to read it, yeah. Is
I
that
don't
okay?
read it to me.
Come sit by me.
Don't read
Oh,
that
then
to me.
if you don't want to read it, why don't you go upstairs, okay? You go upstairs with Appa and the baby.
Can we just do a different book now?
This is what I'm doing for the video. So if you don't want to read it, you go upstairs to Appa and baby. Okay? Hurry.
I'm not doing.
Okay, well, I'm going to read it. Running. I'm young, but my legs are strong. I can run.
That.
Okay, hurry.
Why does he hate it?
I don't know. Maybe it's bringing back bad memories from when he was a slave.
He wasn't a slave.
Oh, okay. I don't know what his problem is. Okay, keep going. Run, run, run. Run like the wind.
Wait, he was never a slave.
He was never a slave. It's true. I'm just being weird. I'm trying to make fun of him because I don't know what his deal is. All right, running. They're coming closer. I run so fast, I lead the way. The ones I love race right behind. Pounding dirt and grass, jumping rocks and roots, my feet make drum beats on the path. I'm running far away from the farm where the master worked us, hoeing and picking, mending and sewing till my hands got raw. Now he wants to track me, catch me, chase me till my breath is gone, fence me in to be a slave again. But I'll make my steps quick whispers in the dark. I'll run where he won't find me, under the quilt of night. A river. We search long to find the little boat hidden in the reeds. Is it safe to go over? The water's deep and fast, but we cross without a sound, like the moon coming up over my shoulder to float across the sky. Waiting. Runaways like us must hide in daylight. So come morning we crouch in the bushes till night. It's hot. Sweat dribbles down my neck. Thorns rake my arms and legs. In the still afternoon, mosquitoes whine and tease just like the overseer's children did. All I can do is wait for the cover of darkness. Oh, if only I could dance in the open and sing so loud the stars would hear, and hurry out to guide our way. Watching. We run and hide, run and hide. My cuts sting, my bites itch. I'm hungry all the time. One day at dusk, we make our way to a patch of woods at the edge of town. There are more houses here, people, roads, danger. The others rest while I keep watch for a sign from the Underground Railroad, the friends who will help us get free. Hooey, 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 an owl trolls softly. I stop my breath to listen. Is it really an owl or the railroad's secret code, a sign that a friend is near? No, there he is, just a small fat bird with round yellow moons for eyes. I try to be an owl myself, but my eyes hurt with watching. Then I see a woman walk through her yard wearing a plain dress. On her arm she carries a quilt to air. She hangs it over the fence, then looks to the woods just once. I stare with all my might. I know what to look for. In most quilts, center squares are for home and hearth, but these centers are dark, deep blue. This house hides runaways. You see that? All these blue ones? That's a signal. I'm brave enough to go forward first. When at last the stars are up, I pull the darkness around me and run through the long wet grass. My foot trembles on the wooden step, and my knock is shivery and quick, like the beating of my heart. Who's there? Comes a voice. I swallow hard before I give the password. What if I'm wrong? But I trust the quilt, so I say, a friend of a friend. Hiding. A man and woman let us in. They give us clean clothes, hot stew and biscuits, sweet cherry pie. We talk and whisper so we won't wake their little boy, already tucked in bed. Their daughter, just my age, lets me hold her kitten. We follow her lantern up narrow stairs to a secret room. Sleep now. Tonight we'll keep watch. I lie awake wondering about others who have hidden there. I won't ever know their names, but I find a message, a rough carved place in the wood under my mat. I make my fingers into eyes to explore it. Just before I fall asleep, I see it as a star. Traveling. Wake up, hurry! Your master and his men are close behind. Our friend whisks us through the last folds of night and hides us deep in his wagon. The cold boards make me shiver. Straw pricks my skin like needles. We go north across a bridge under trees, a zigzag of here and there. We can't turn back. We would be beaten, sold away, our chances gone for good. We must go on or die. I hang on tight. Fear is so real, it lies here beside me. The wagon rattles, horses clomp. Suddenly I tremble. Voices, we're caught. We're looking for runaways. What's in your wagon? Barks a voice. Eggs, sacks of grain, vegetables to sell at morning market, says our driver, smooth as honey. Search me if you like. I'm no friend of the slave. I keep still as a rock, though it feels like my heart will split. But the searchers are fooled, and at last they gallop off. Our friend laughs and cracks the reins. He calls to his horses, "Giddy up, hope and liberty," and the wagon rolls on. Singing. Birds wake, a rooster calls. I listen to night softly falling away. We stop at a little church deep in a piney wood. I pick the straw from my hair and rub my stiff, cramped legs. Our friend takes a stick and draws a map in the dirt. The road we'll take to Canada. These good folks will carry you, he says. You're almost to freedom now. Over the trees the sun comes up. The dark pines glow like gold. Freedom. I take a deep breath, and when I let go, my voice flies up in a song, my own song of running in sunshine and dancing through fields. I'll jump every fence in my way. Dun dun dun. Alright, so this is Under the Quilt of Night is an imagined journey. It's a fictitious story inspired by the Underground Railroad, and it mixes fact and folklore. The Underground Railroad, of course, is not actually underground, nor was it a railroad. It was a secret network of people who helped others to escape slavery. It was most active in the 1850s and the years just before the Civil War. Just as we don't learn the name of the girl who tells the story, we don't know the names of most who escaped on the Underground Railroad. Activities took place in secret and weren't written down. Those fleeing slavery faced incredible danger and hardships. The free blacks and whites who helped them also faced risks. Many stories have grown up around quilts in the Underground Railroad. Some think quilts included hidden meanings or were hung to mark safe houses, while others believe these stories are simply folklore. We do know that fugitives were hidden in many ways, sometimes in secret rooms or tunnels, other times in wagons with false bottoms or simply under straw on the back of carts. We also know from songs like Follow the Drinking Gourd that enslaved people used the North Star to help them locate north, where Canada and freedom lay. In this story, the girl finds a star sewn is carved in the floor as a hopeful sign of freedom. When I was a 4th grader, the Underground Railroad was mentioned in just a few lines in our history textbook. Today, many books and internet sites have information about this part of our history. In communities, people are working together to remember family stories and to find and preserve Underground Railroad routes and houses. But some of our past may always be hidden from us. That was by Deborah Hopkinson. So we started reading about the Underground Railroad because my dad, Papa, lived next to a house that was rumored to be part of the Underground Railroad in Indiana. So we're curious if we can find out whether it was part of it or not. We're not sure. And we were going to try to call the Indianapolis Public Library and see if they could help us. He tried to call when he was a kid, and they wouldn't help him because they thought he was trying to get sneaky help for a school project and not do the work himself. So we wanted to call and make them feel bad for making him feel bad so long ago. But we haven't found out any information about it yet, but we're interested to try to figure it out. So what did you think? I really like this book. It was cool.
I don't give opinions.
You don't give opinions, but I am going to give an opinion. This is a really, really good book, and it's got beautiful illustrations. oil illustrations there. So I definitely recommend this. Under the Quilt of Night. Deborah Hopkinson and James Ranson did the illustrations, and we got this out of the library, so you could too. Let's see. Is it inspiring companion to Sweet Clara and the Freedom Quilt, recipient of the International Reading Association Children's Book Award. So there you are. Okay. Under the Quilt of Night. Check it out. Okay, everybody. Well, that was our little Underground Railroad lesson for the day. And if you like history and you like books, children's books about history, let us know by giving us a big thumbs up and comment on what other topics you'd like us to cover and any other books you'd like us to read. And if you're new here, definitely subscribe to see more of our videos. And otherwise, mateys, we will see you next time. Okay, till later. Bye.